Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to the grand finals of the Korean StarCraft League. A best of 5 between Hero and Dark, as we're playing on Starchild, one of the maps that the tournament organizers have been swapping into the map pool. I'm actually really curious what's going to happen when we get to the officially hosted tournaments. Are they going to be using the current ladder map pool, or will we see some type of hybrid map pool in those tournaments? For example, DreamHack Dallas, which recently got announced as the first qualifier for the EWC, will be played offline, I believe, somewhere at the end of May. I wonder what they're gonna do with the map pool there. Are they going to? Ooh, what a thought. Are they just gonna go with the current ladder map pool, or are we gonna see some more interesting maps in there? So I personally would be a huge fan of adding some different maps into that pool, but we're gonna have to wait and see. As this Stargate is popping out oracles one at a time, Dark gets the full scout off onto the main base, knows that it's going to be a Stargate. Of course, not going to be the biggest of surprises, but still nice to know. As Hero went for the gate, cyber gate wall. Pretty old school wall here. It needed 3 buildings in order to do it. Lately, we've seen him do a lot of pylon walling, pylon gate cybernetics core to take a faster third base off of just a single gateway. That doesn't quite seem to be the plan. 2 spores on the way here as well. I think one has just finished in the main base. There's only a single queen there. And the double queen, ooh, look at this. Double Adept plus Oracle, now heading into the main base. Perhaps wants to use some of that high ground space over here. See if we can clear some units. I actually think these Adepts should cancel. Yeah, there you go. I completely agree with that move. As this stasis is actually going to finish up as well. Pretty bad start here for Dark, who's going to end up losing 4, maybe 5, maybe even 6 or 7 workers. These can cancel. Oracle is still here as well. So yeah, 9 workers, 10 workers. I'm not saying this is necessarily game over, but it is not looking very good here for Dark, who's lost 11 workers in the first 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Hero is quickly tacking into a third Nexus as well, has the double gases going up behind this Forge, Twilight Council. Is this the second Oracle or the third Oracle already? I'm not even sure. How can we see that? Okay, that was number 3 already. 2 of them are just kind of chilling over here on the third base, making sure that no Ling run by can take him out. I mean, Dark is in a world of trouble. That's just the reality of things here. If you lose this many workers in the early game, as much mining time lost as he has as well, usually not a great sign. He's currently on 5 queens, which is not enough to defend all bases against triple Oracle, but he's going to try his best. Okay, double Oracle here is going to pop in. There are 2 queens in the main base. Hero needs to be careful that he doesn't lose any of these Oracles. It would really suck for him. Although he has dealt enough damage at this point already that losing one is not going to be the end of the world. Gets a couple of creep tumors down as well. It's going to be number 2. It's going to be number 3 that goes down. And Dark will need to reset some of that creep spread right now with the 2 queens that he has. 53 workers to 49. Evo Chamber on the way. We don't have a Roach Warren. We don't have a Baneling Net. But there's really no kind of follow-up pack here. These 6 Adepts are going to come in and Links are going to try to connect with them. They are connecting. A couple of Links will fall. One Adept will also go down. Might be a cancel here. Yep, there we go. Another good cancel out of Hero, as he recalls out after killing 4 drones and just losing a single Adept. So just a fairly decent early game. It's going to be straight Hydra then, by the way. Oracles come back in. What's the overall worker kill count? 24 in 6 minutes. I mean, look, I love Dark and I love his ability to make comebacks into games, but this should theoretically be impossible, right? You lose 24 workers this early on. I don't actually think you should be allowed to make a comeback. And I think Hero realized that. He's building a battery. He's adding in a cannon as well. Making sure that the battery is secure. And the battery making sure that the cannon is secure. Helping each other out. We have a Templar Archives on the way. And Dark seemingly is just going into like some type of 60 drone shenanigans here. That's definitely what he seemingly is doing. 60 drones, bunch of Hydras, bunch of Links is what I'm expecting as well. Then we're just going to have to wait and see what he actually is going to do. Okay, Stasis Ward comes out. Going to hit just 2 drones. Let's deny a little bit of mining. Another Stasis Ward comes out. This is like 10, 15 seconds or so of mining time that you're losing here as the Zerg player. Oracle is out of energy. Yeah, Dark is actually going to add in a couple more drones. That's the one thing I hadn't expected. I thought that Dark was just going to go all out here on Ling Hydra, and then at some point attack. And it's not a great plan, but it is a plan at least. Right now his plan just seems to be, let's try not to die and then not have a mid-game anyway, because I'm downing workers, I have worse tech. My upgrades are worse. My infrastructure is worse, I have no creep spread. Like, there's no plan here. I'd rather have a bad plan than the complete absence of a plan. Like, I don't understand what the win condition is going to be for Dark here whatsoever. Maybe that's what Dark is still figuring out while trying to stay alive. He's like, well, I don't think I can kill my opponent. I don't think I can survive. That doesn't leave too much on the table here if these two main categories are gone. +2 range starts right now. Fort base on 68 workers. Hero's going to be moving into position. Will snipe one Hydra and instantly blinks back. Making sure he's not going to get surrounded here by a bunch of links off creep. Zealot run by being set up. A couple of Templar also warp in, but the fact that Hero is up in supply, up in workers, is not great. The double force also is going to be putting in some work. We have a Roach Warren on the way on top of all of that. It's going to be just a lair type play here. We don't have an infestation pit. So it feels to me like Dark just wants to go for some kind of Hydra Ling Roach max out. But that Roach Warren is very late for it. And on top of that, he also is pretty much at the risk of dying in the next, well, honestly 15 seconds. Because this is a pretty powerful force. Storms are available. We have 5 of them. First one comes in, more of a zoning storm. Second one does hit pretty bigly. As 2 Templars have fallen already. We have a single Templar remaining. The Zealots in the back will start running in forward soon. Archon gets created. As a lot of drones are going to be falling over here on this fort base. I don't think that Dark has enough to hold this position. And as a result, he probably will need to tap out. He loses 10 more workers. Going to bring the total of workers lost in his 9-minute game to 34 drones. An absolute drone killing machine, this hero. Some of the best harassment, honestly, that I've seen. Phenomenal use of the stasis. And indeed, GG gets called. That was honestly some insanely impressive harassment. Like, he has so many different tricks, but then also has the ability to repeat the tricks that he's already done very well because his diversity is so big. Like, if you're just good at doing like these flybys with like 2 oracles and you zap, zap, zap. But that's not the case. He has the solid movement with the double adept as well. We saw the stasis usage in the main base, which I thought was so freaking cool. I think a lot of people, they look at the oracle kind of as a pulsar beam enjoyer, you know, and they use the stasis when there's no adepts nearby, but not in combination with adepts like that. I thought it was a really cool usage of the oracle. And Hero just has a bunch of little tricks like that he just employs every single time and in different orders, and it makes it difficult to deal with because he just has a tool for every situation. He's like a Swiss pocket knife when it comes to harassment, you know. So yeah, he can harass in any way possible. Really, he's a dangerous man to be around. Let's see what we have over here. Stargate once again coming out of Hero, pretty much the standard in this matchup. We have some different follow-ups coming out of it at times. So we have some Glaive build orders, sometimes see Charge. We've seen stuff like Archon drop as well. But majority of the time, when Hero is playing, he does love going into his fort, plus his Twilight Council, because he just wants to get into Blink. He's just a big blinking man. Get that blink out, get the control with the Stalkers as well as he runs across the map with this Adept. See what he can get going over here. It's just a single Adept for now. So maybe not a whole lot. Second Adept is out, so just gonna stay at home. So these bases are split. I mean, after the success of last game, I honestly would have expected a second Adept Chrono here as well. It's going across the map with these 2 guys, help out. Ooh, it's gonna finish this up. A single set of links and a single queen. Hero's going to feel comfortable enough to finish it and get 2 link kills. Now perhaps even gonna get a drone kill. No, just barely misses that as he runs out. I mean, these links should be capable of taking out this Adept. Yeah, there we go. One more link is gonna end up dying, but so will this Adept. As the first Oracle is halfway across the map. Lots of links are moving out. It seems to me that Dark wants to go in for a bit of a third base cancel, and I believe he might just get that. Spore Crawler not in position. Means that this Oracle is gonna get 3 kills. It's quite a bit. Decent control here on the probe, trying to block these links from getting to the Adept, but it's not quite gonna work out. as the next Oracle shows up. But the Nexus is already gone. New probe needs to be sent in order to rebuild that. And although this was an expensive little trick here out of Dark, I think it is most definitely worth it. As the Nexus has been delayed, you kill an Adept as well. This Oracle is forced to stay at home. So you're putting on a lot of pressure on the opponent. And that surely has got to be a little bit painful here for Hero, who tries to get his Nexus up once more. Kind of get this dance between the activation of the Pulsar Beam on the Oracle and the Lynx. You know that Hero wants to start shooting these guys, but at the same time you also know you don't want to waste 30 energy killing nothing. Dark is going to go in over here. Next Oracle comes out already, so I think this is going to be the end of that. Double Oracles now active across the map, as we indeed have Blink. Do we have a Forge as well somewhere? No, it's just going to be Naked. Well, I think it's going to be Naked Blink. Could theoretically still be something else. We have Forge, another gate coming in. It has a... It smells like Blink. It looks like Blink. It smells like Blink. It walks like Blink. It's probably Blink, and that's a lost Oracle right there. Significantly worse start here, which is not that weird because last game's start was so insanely good. There's no way you can recreate that every game against a player the caliber of Dark. I mean, already killing 7 workers in 5 minutes is honestly kind of nice. Now he's going to get an 8 worker as well. He's going to get a Creep Tumor over here. Yes, he's lost an Oracle, which is not great. But at the same time, damage is damage. And he's got quite a bit of it. Gonna get the triple Chronos here on the Nexus, the classic. It's +1 start. Blink starts as well. We have a Fort base on the way. 5 minutes and 40 seconds in. Much, much faster than what we saw in the previous game. Evo Chamber coming in as well as that Hydra then. So actually a similar follow-up here for Dark. Except this time he's not going to be down 7 workers by the time his Fort base starts. No, he's actually going to be up a couple of workers. So yeah, just a better start altogether. We have a robotics facility coming in as well for Hero, who has delayed his gases a little. We're on 4 gates so far. 2 more gates on the way, so it's going to bring the total up to 6. I wonder how powerful this Stalker move out is going to be. Because there's going to be a lot of Hydraling out already here. There's actually going to be a lot of Hydraling out already. I'm a little bit afraid here right now for Hero. Because he's still... Oh, Robo Bay as well. The Robo Bay is like the annoying little brother, you know, that you don't want there. You know it exists, but you know, not when you're hanging out with your friends. That's what this Robo Bay is like. I'm not entirely sure why Hero is building it. I don't think I've ever seen a successful game with Colossus in my entire life. Bah, that's not true. I've seen it sometimes, but it's so extremely rare. Oh, this Oracle is about to get sniped. All Oracles went down. This is not the type of situation I'd like to be transported into. If I'm a Protoss player and they say, hey, you want to jump into a game? Someone wants to tap out. Like, sure, as long as there's no Robo Bay and I didn't lose all 3 of my Oracles. I'm like, well... Bad news for you then, buddy. There's no Oracles. And the most expensive unit you're building right now is indeed the Colossus. It's like, uh-oh. The problem with the Colossus is that it has a very limited time frame in which it is a good unit. And that time frame is basically between minutes 8 and 10. It's like 2 minutes where it's like really freaking strong, and after that it just falls off a cliff. Lurkers come out, Vipers come out, life's gonna be hard. On top of that, before Thermal is out, the unit is also pretty useless. So you have this really thin window in which it's good. I think Darkseid is gonna walk over his opponent here, at least kill this Fort base. Colossus is being pushed back right now. It's not really participating in the fight, can't keep by itself. 4 Hydras are being split off trying to clear it, as these Hydras are these Stalkers are taking quite a beating against the Hydra Fort. +1 putting in a lot of work. Hive is already on the way as well, as a pure Ling Hydra flood is just gonna deal so much damage that I'm honestly pretty afraid here for Hero's survival chances. I'm not 100% certain that Hero even is gonna get his thermal lens out before this game ends, as this 3rd Nexus is in a world of trouble. Colossus manages to finally walk over here towards the 3rd base as well. Has 12 kills already. It kills 2 more Lings. Second Colossus now coming out. It's actually going to be a pretty big deal. Stalkers blinking in forward as well. Thermal lens finishing up in 9 seconds from here on out. Stalker count is just diminishing, and more Hydras are moving across the map. Decent-ish split as well on these guys. That means that the Colossus can just kill all of them at the same time, and the third base is gonna end up falling. Wait, this is pretty much a testament to how bad the Colossus is. It's like, it's hard to get many of them out at the same time, unlike with Storm, right? It's a big investment as well. And for how long are they good? Well, until the first Lurkers with Seismic Spines are out, that's when their peak is going to be. Like, they peak early in life. Actually, they don't even peak early in life. They kind of peak late in life and for a very short amount of time. They have like 1 good year. Luckily for Colossus, they also usually don't become that old because they're so bad. They tend to die relatively quickly. Sometimes you do see these late game armies with like 3 Colossus in it against Zerg. You're like, ooh, wish you didn't have those right now, buddy. Okay, Vipers coming out, Lurkers coming out. 4th base on the way as well. 20 kills, 8 kills, and 0 kills on these 3 Colossus. The moment you get like 11, 12 Lurkers here, it's just going to be a massive issue. It really is just going to be a massive issue. You're going to need to get Storm out at some point as hero. You're definitely going to need Storm. I mean, you need feedbacks in order to deal with the Vipers. You need Storms in order to deal with basically everything else that's nice to have against Lurkers. Meanwhile, we see Dark, funnily enough, just now going up to like a worker count above 80. Dark is one of the few players that still is really keen on just killing people on 68 workers while also tacking behind it to kind of have a backup plan in case it's necessary, but he never has the worker count that usually gets associated with that backup plan. Like 90% of the time when you see Zergs tacking into Hive at like 8 minutes, they're gonna have 82, 83 workers. Dark did it of 68 while killing his opponent's 3rd base, okay? Dark is, he is built different when it comes to that. He's absolutely built different. 4 more Lurkers on the way here. Gonna bring the total up to 12, and with 12 Lurkers, I'm not saying we can push up this ramp. We could probably push from the left side over here into the 3rd, or go behind the bases. It's also an absolutely viable option. Don't forget, Vipers are still around. So these 3 Colossus being positioned here looks like a good time right now for Hero, but soon is going to get ruined. He needs to be quick with his responses the moment he sees the Vipers pop in. Dark actually is hiding these Vipers. I'm not sure if he's aware of the fact that there's an Observer here, but I think he might just be. Yeah, we have an Overseer coming in. Look at this. Such a cute play. He's hiding these Vipers from the Observer. Now he's going to send them in. Hero, however, realizes that something is wrong and says, hey, you know what? I'm going to pull them back a bit. Very well played by both of these guys as a Nidus Worm goes up in the main base of Hero. We do have the Nidus Worm here nearby as well. Didn't even hear it. But Hero was aware of this Nidus Worm soon to come up. Okay, there we go. 1 Colossus gets pulled in. I'm sure it did a great job, but not great enough as it ends up dying. This base is gonna fall. The Neil Fort is already being constructed. But that's not really how this game works, I don't think. Spire is on the way. Dark is so early with his transitions here. Right, usually you want to get Spire out and Corruptors once you see that your opponent has Tempest. Dark is doing it because he's already preempting the Tempest. I'm going to tell you, Hero isn't even considering Tempest right now. He doesn't have a second Stargate. He doesn't have a Fleet Beacon on the way. He's going for these 2-3 upgrades, and he's probably wanting to build a bit of a ground army going forward. Links are now being split off. They don't have Adrenal Gland, so this is just going to be a largely useless attack. At the same time, we're going to have a bit of a Lurker attack moving forward here on the right side. More Hydras on the way. 9 more Lurkers coming in as well once these guys finish up. I mean, let's take a look at the armies over here. We have 3 Immortals, 2 Colossus, 5 Templar. Should not be enough here whatsoever for Hero. He needs to make sure that these guys can't move anything further forward. You get an Oracle Revelation. Colossus dealing a bit of damage, but so are the Lurkers. Here come more Lurkers from the left side. Double Colossus get pulled in as they do end up dying. And now I just have a really weak army. You just have a really weak army. This base will need to be given up. I think Hero realized that. He wants to go perhaps for a bit of a base trade. Not sure how successful that's going to be. He loses a couple of his Stalkers. You have another Knight is coming out. First few Tempests now out on the map as well. But as I said, Spire is already done. +1 is about halfway finished on those Spire units as well. Lurkers, will they be capable of killing this base? I think the answer is gonna be no. Not quite, but there's so many Lurkers in the main base right now that Hero probably has bigger trouble than losing his fort, which by the way he also ends up doing. So GG's gonna get called as Dark ties up the series 1-1. Ooh, what do we have over here? Look at this, game number 3. So what happened here is that Hero went for a hatch block. Dark realized what was happening, sent one worker to the third, and then Hero chased that worker. Dark built a hatch over here, and then sent this other worker across the map. Hero went already anticipating this, went for an 18 Nexus here, and now this drone is pretty freaking useless. This is a very expensive drone, because this is one of the first drones that you have, and it just went straight across the map. And right now it's not doing anything useful with its life, right? This is a completely useless drone. This guy is the most useless idiot I've ever seen in my life. He's probably just gonna have to walk all the way back home. It's a good try there, buddy. But not good enough. Did not even get an extractor steal. Did not get anything done in his life. Did manage to get the hatchery on the natural, but look how late it is as well. Is what, 11 seconds later than usual, 12 seconds later than usual. That means his second queen is going to be delayed. This Overlord is too late as well. He should have gone for a 20 Overlords. Look at this. He's going to get supply block. Can't even build his first queen right now. A pretty significant blunder here. So everything is insanely delayed. And on top of that, that drone is still just losing mining this entire time. It could have been mining, but it's not. I think Hero is going to be very happy with the outcome of this early game. Absolutely. He's going to be over the moon, is what I'm telling you. He hasn't done anything, and he's already in a phenomenal spot. And it can be small things like this, where you look at Dark and you're like, oh, that was a cute move, you know? You got your hatch and your natural, and you try to go for a hatch block on the other side, but Hero, boom, he anticipates everything. Like, he's not stupid. He's like, where did the drone go that walked to the third base? Where'd it go, buddy? Went across the map. He figured it out, throws down that Nexus, and now you're stuck not doing anything useful with your life. Hate to see it. Hate to see it if you're a Dark fan, as Dark's gonna go for double injects over here, so late creep tumor. Let's see what he's up to, the man. The man, the myth, the legend. Hero's just gonna keep this adept at home, and maybe the other adept at home as well. He's just checking to see where the third base is, or if there even is a third base. I don't think I've ever seen Dark go without a third base, so I think it is a little much to check for it, but you know, rather be safe than sorry is the second adept moves across the map right now. First Oracle is about to come out as well. Fast Twilight Council. Single Oracle Twilight Council. I don't think so, buddy. What are we doing over here? He's trying to walk a probe out there to get a Nexus. Dark has split off a couple of these links. He's going to get a kill here on this probe. This probe is not going to get the Nexus up. That is frustrating. We're probably going to see, yeah, instantly 2 more gateways going down. I think this is going to be a rush here into Glaives. I can't imagine it being anything else. This Oracle is over here as well. We have 3 more gates on the way. It's going to be instant Glaives, right? Yeah, there you go. Instant Glaives indeed. Are there any Overlords nearby that could scout? There are Overlords nearby that could scout, but I don't think any of them will. 2 more gates on the way. It's going to be a 6 gate. So, this is a build order where, if you look at the previous 2 games, this build would have just straight up won the game against whatever the hell it was that Dark was doing, right? The links into Harras stuff, that isn't very safe. You don't have a Roach Warren, you have no Baneling Nest to deal with any of this stuff. You will just kill your opponent if you're going for a 6-gate Glaive, absolutely. However, this time around, it looks very different. Dark is not seeing a third base. Right? Like, I'm gonna say, like, you probably want a Roach Warren at some point. This is still a fairly delayed Roach Warren, by the way. So, common knowledge is to get the Roach Warren at about 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. If it's single Oracle into tech, if it's double Oracle, get it at 440. This thing went down at like 450. So, even the most safe response would have already been 10 seconds delayed. Uh-oh, he's gonna be capable of running in here as well. Sees a lot of adepts. Is going to get the scout off on practically everything here, except the extra gateways. So really, and the tech. So he doesn't see a whole lot, but he saw the adept, and I think that's just going to be good enough. We're getting a spine here. We're getting another spine in the wall. I think this spine might actually make this wall a little bit weaker. Because this is now the weakest spot in the wall that's going to fall very, very quickly. How many adepts do we have here? For now, it's only 9 or 10. We do have 5 queens shooting as well, so that's quite a big deal. Okay, first adept is going to fall. First queen also goes down, though. I think initially, if you're trading queens versus adepts, it's not even the end of the world, really. If you're the Zerg player, Spine finishes up over here on the third base as well. Only 2 drones going down. And Dark, honestly, with a miraculous defense so far, as the next set of adepts is now about to show up. That's going to be 6 adepts over here, punching that Evo chamber. As 6 more show up. It's going to be 12 adepts here fighting the roaches. 2 roaches will fall. One more roach perhaps in a little bit of trouble. Where are those drones that we had earlier? They're not over here. No roaches on the outside as they're all wanting to go out, but they're stuck in the main base due to this Evo chamber block. Get a big shade on top of this. I think most of these trades, majority of the time, are going to be okay for the Zerg. Although 6 more adepts come in, Evo chamber wall is fine. This is really a lot of damage output as well. Shouldn't forget about that. He's just trading adepts for roaches, and the one cool thing about that is the fact, of course, that while you're losing roaches, you can't really be building drones. So we're actually going to see a little bit of a worker lead here for Heroes, adding in a forge on his third base. That's a panic forge if I've ever seen one. And I think the roach count now is going to be big enough. No, actually, 6 more adepts. Every single time this push is about to end, more and more adepts just end up showing up and say, hey, I have insane reinforcement abilities over here. I'm just gonna get 6 more of these bad boys in there, and now the adepts do get the shade into the main base. This is just going to be an issue. You lose 7-8 workers here, a lot of mining time. That's just going to suck. It's really not going to be the happiest day of your life. Actually, it's going to be one of the worst days of your life. These adepts are going to be splitting some of their shots onto those drones. 10 workers going down. We get a recall as well. A couple of them will survive, 4 of them to be exact. And the follow-up is going to be pure Stalker. 3 more gateways coming in, going straight up to 9 gates. Plus 1 as well. It is 37 workers to 56. And once more, we basically have a game where I think after the early game, Dark is pretty much dead. He does not really have the ability to do very much anymore. 1 queen goes down. 2nd queen now is being rallied in. Needs to be careful that he doesn't end up dying either with that. There's only 2 queens out in total. This is just such a painful situation that... Dark finds himself in. Brilliant harass, brilliant attack. 6 gate glaive. Ooh, what was that? Was that extra gates on top of the already extra gates? It's gonna just add a 2nd forge. So it's gonna go up to... I think he cancelled 1 over here as well. He probably was going up to like an insane amount of gates for whatever reason. Going up to like 12 gates because he forgot that he already went 6 gate. Usually you play 4 gates, so you don't realize how many gates you already have. You frequently see it as well when people, they go for like a DT drop or something like that. And they'll forget that they already have a Twilight Council. So they'll add another Twilight Council if they want to start Blink or Charge. Because they forgot about the fact that, you know, in order to get the Dark Shrine, you already need the Twilight. But if you don't play it enough, sometimes you forget it. In your mind, you're like, oh, I played something that wasn't Blink. Let me get a Twilight Council because that is what I need for Blink. It's one of the things you see happen fairly frequently. It's very funny to watch. Gonna get a Hydralist then over here. So Dark once again is going to try to play into Hydras. Does have a bigger roach ball up front. But, I mean, this Stalker army is massive. We have 20 Stalkers, 23 Stalkers with +1 against 19 roaches. It is going to be very hard here. Almost impossible for Dark really to do anything. And yep, GG gets called. Hero wins game number 3. As we head into our potentially final game in this best of 5, as Hero has reached the threshold of being 1 game away from winning the series. I'm curious to see if there's going to be any more switch-ups out of him. The 6-gate glaives. The funny thing is that he built that Twilight Council really quick, then pretended to want to take a 3rd base, which the Lynx denied, and then ended up going for a 6-gate glaive. I'm not sure how much of that was in the moment and how much of that was pre-planned. It's really difficult to tell often with Hero because he adapts so seamlessly to almost any, you know, anything that gets thrown at him. He's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Let's see what I can do with that. You know, you give him a bit of info and he's like, okay, I'll see how I can change my build based on that. Like, he doesn't really follow the same pattern every single time. Like, some people, you know, you'll show them 12 links. They're like, okay, 12 links means I want 1 extra adept over there. I want to put it down in the wall, and then I'm just going to continue back to my build. But Hero, you'll see something. It's like, okay, I'll just completely change my entire game plan, and we'll see if it works out. And very frequently, it does end up working out. It's a very unpredictable player. Hard to fight against as a result. Let's take a look what this probe is going to do. It's kind of hanging around. That's what he's doing. Stargate in the main base. Metabolic boost over here as well. And this is this type of like one gate nexus wall that we've been seeing a lot out of Hero. We really have been seeing that a lot out of Hero. Ling is going to get the full scout. We'll see that there is indeed a Stargate going up. And like I said, you can almost certainly say this is going to be the case when you're playing against Hero, but you still want to get that confirmation if you can. And 25 mineral scout is a fine thing to do. It also keeps this adept at home a little bit longer, so you might feel safer on your side of the map. Dark here, by the way, is one of the players that plays the early game very different from anyone else. So almost all Zerg players, and when I say almost all, I mean really all Zerg players, they would instantly start a queen over here right now in the main base. So at 36 supply, once this Overlord finishes up, you get the queen in the main. You get a pretty quick second queen in there as well. But Dark is one of the players that prefers getting either more links or more drones first, and then adds a fast spore as well. So it allows him to maybe be a little bit more aggressive with higher link counts. But it also means his main base is a little bit less secure very often. And if you straight up fly into that main, sometimes you can get something done. For now, though, this Oracle is just going to get 3 kills, maybe even 4. No, 3 kills over here on that third base. His Nexus just now goes down, and Dark is going to instantly get a cancel on it. Very frustrating for Hero, but does manage to keep this probe alive. That's going to help him out rebuilding this at a rapid pace as well. Okay. Dark now starts knocking on this door. This is just a single gate still, by the way. Oh no, there's a second gate already. So we went for a single gate wall, but had a second gate for backup. Double oracles. Can we get some fat zaps in here? No, we can't. These guys will not finish up, yeah. I was gonna say. It does not feel like the type of situation where you want to finish up these adept shades. Okay, 1 creep tumor is gonna get sniped out as well. This is moving into the third. It's just gonna take a lot of damage. Get 1 worker kill, take a lot of damage. Lose a bit of energy as well. These adepts now moving into safety. Battery is going to keep him safe. What is the follow-up here? Uh-oh. I think Heroes had it. He says, hey, this was a really fun series. It would be a shame if someone were to do a no-forge 6-gate blink all-in, right? Actually, I think he's going to proxy a gate over here. This is where the pylon would be, and then the gate above it. I think that's going to be his plan. Look how low his adept count is. Only 4. Compared to where usually we see 6, 7, sometimes even 8 adepts coming out of Hero, even without glaives. He loves getting these high numbers. We have a Baneling Nest coming in as well for Dark, who sees that there's just 2 oracles. Like, hey, that's kind of weird. Sees the lack of a third gas as well. It's like, hey, that's kind of weird. Do I need to do something against that? Dark is only on 49 workers, by the way. Does have a 4th base on the way, but really low worker count. Really low. Make that make sense. Okay, Stasis Ward comes in. Should not be capable of doing a whole lot here. Yep, just gonna get taken out before it even really gets activated. This Oracle also tries to go in for a Stasis, but gets denied instantly. You have a late Forge. And Hero is cutting workers right now. No workers in production whatsoever on 3 gases, 6 gateways. 7th gateway is on the way in the main base. Oh, here comes the full surround on these units. As he temporarily full walls behind this probe, making sure that nothing can get in there. I really do believe he will take a worker here as well on this journey. It is 58 workers to 59. Yeah, there we go. Pylon. I would have loved the pylon over here because you can warp on the low ground with that. Pylon here, gateway up there. Get that fast warping going, baby. That's the way I like it. stasis in the back. Lynx are activating some of these stasis wards, but I think the Stalker count might just be a little bit too high here. I mean, we're working with 43 Lynx to 12 Stalkers. +1 is finished up, actually. Maybe with +1 and a bunch of Queens. We do have six of them here at the front. Maybe Dark is going to be capable of doing that. There's another big stasis ward hits over here. Still have 5 of these Queens remaining. 2 more on the way. 108 supply to 96 as more and more Stalkers are being warped in. But they're also falling pretty low on HP right now. He needs to be very careful with what he's doing. Because he is still extremely all in with this. Look at that. No gases whatsoever. No follow-up. No fort base. 59 workers. Full send. Lynx coming to connect with these Stalkers. I'm not sure if this is the type of connection that these Stalkers are looking for, though. Banelings coming in as well. That's a lot of Banelings for not that many Zealots. It's going to try to hit some of these Stalkers as well, but that's not necessarily looking that great. More Zealots coming in will get hit by these Banes. 22 more Lynx on the way as well. We have 15 out, 15 Stalkers out as well, and 7 Queens total. If this fort base goes down, I do believe that Dark is going to massively struggle here with producing enough Lynx. Even now, he's already not managing to have enough larva to spend all of his cash. He's floating about 600 minerals. Continuously needs to be building Queens in order to spend that mineral count as the Banelings move in forward. And slowly but surely, Hero Stalker count is rising, while the Link count does not go up. And Hero will win the grand finals here of the Korean StarCraft League once more. That's going to be it for me. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all next time, and bye-bye.